the ideas for this club, the ideals when you came here. There are always tough moves on the way, always difficult times. Things don't go always in a straight line. But to arrive at this moment with the decisions you've made, what's your pride, your excitement, your optimism?
Yeah, I mean, given everything that's happened to this club over the last 4 or 5 years, and the commitment from ownership, from their vision, and then the resources that they've given to help build a club that the community can be proud of. That's what makes moments like this so meaningful. And so those challenges that we've gone through and endured allow us to then not take these moments for granted. And so when we talk about, a championship in 2020 that was great in so many ways and it provides us the second star above our crest, we weren't able to share that moment with as many fans as we would have liked. And so to be able to have this opportunity again, it means so much to the community, so much to ownership, so much to all these employees, and I just hope that we can finish it off on Saturday with a win. But win or lose, it's a win for the city.
When Wilfried spoke this week, he used a certain word, and he used it again here at the podium. It's aggression, aggressive. I can't say it with a French accent.
Yeah.
The way he says
I know it always sounds better when
aggressive.
Wilfried's saying.
But the meaning is universal, and I'm just wondering how that moniker has served with your team this year. That mentality switch and the results that you've been able to bear from it.
Yeah, I think that emotion that is provoked from Wilfried and his coaching staff is contagious. And I think that word, that courage and aggression and bravery is something that you can see in our style of play, but I think it resonates beyond the pitch with how this club is behaving and how it wants to act. And I think it's this building lower.com field is also a reflection of that. We want to be a modern club that's pushing the envelope. We have a history of being first to so many things. And I think the way that we're playing is a reflection of that. And that's why it was such a great fit when Wilfried came in. And then he's raised it to a whole new level just because of who he is as a person and his ability to communicate not only the vision, but to get people to believe in it. And that's what makes him special.
Speaking of first, last year, the Crew 2 team with the first Next Pro Cup. What is it like seeing homegrown talent on this stage, seeing guys like Schultz and Farsi here being able to play an impact at the first team level?
It's the fulfillment of one of our goals, which is to build a club that has a player pathway that allows hometown players that are from Columbus or from Ohio, to make their way up to the first team and compete and then ultimately win trophies, because those are the players that really resonate with the fans, because they're one of us, being a hometown person myself. So it takes a lot of people along that pathway, many coaches, obviously the Crew 2 staff with Corey Ray and Laurent Courtois, and then Mark Nichols, who's overseeing our curriculum of how we're playing, that to make sure that there's consistency from the first team to Crew 2 in the academy. I think there was some statistic that came out this year that we were top of the league in terms of how the style of play was consistent from Crew 2 to the first team, and I think that's the power of having this developmental track. And I think it's where the league is going. I think a lot of teams are trying to do this. It's just you need the right people to believe in a young player, to put them out there and give faith and confidence to a young Sean Zawatsky, Mo Farsi's, Pat Schulte's, Aiden Morris's. People forget Aiden Morris was a lock-in starter to this year. There's Artur and Agnew in our midfield last year. Obviously got a number of starts, started in the MLS Cup in 2020. But you've heard his name for a long time, but this is his first full year as a full-time starter.
Even be an Ohio guy like you, he didn't get to be on the field in 2020. So would it be like seeing him win a championship on this field?
It's what it's all about. I mean, I think, as I said to our staff yesterday, there's a few defining moments in your life: graduations, weddings, memories and deaths of loved ones. For me, it's also trophies. With winning trophies, a chance to compete for trophies with people that you care around you. And I think for Darlington, not having him on the pitch, not having Pedro Santos on the pitch in 2020, really, I think it hurt everyone, because it's it was extraordinary circumstances in that, in that year. And I think once we had the opportunity to win it the other night, I was thinking about Darlington. It's the first thing I thought of after the game. And I know he was emotional because I think everyone appreciates Darlington, not only as a player, but as a person and a leader. You can't overstate how good this player is. I mean, Darlington can play in any league in the world. I truly mean that. He's a remarkable person and skill on the ball. So it's a fitting step for him to be able for us to be back and for him to compete and hopefully lead us to another cup.
Last thing I want to ask is after everything this team's gone through in 2017 going on, what is it like having this MLS event be here in Columbus, having all this surrounding the team and the club in Columbus?
It's remarkable to have the entire community ecosystem of MLS descend on Columbus, and I pinched myself because there wasn't going to be a team here 5 years ago, and so now to be sitting in Huntington Field Club, it's an incredible space. It's not just any club. This is in my opinion the preeminent club and maybe all of sports in North America. I mean, that's what our ownership has done. They've really said, hey, let's do something in Columbus that we can be proud of and show the world, kind of bring the global game of football, bring the city to the world through the global game of football. And I think that's what's so exciting about this opportunity. And then 6 months from now, we're going to host MLS All-Star game, and so we get to be able to do this 2 times within 6 or 7 months. It's truly remarkable. It's hard for words, don't have a lot of words to describe what it means for the city. Pretty cool.
You could do it a 3rd time this time next year if you guys win, keep winning. You mentioned Aiden's kind of path from that MLS Cup Final to this one. Where have you seen him maybe grow the most? Where has he become kind of the player that is, as you pointed out, now an everyday starter?
I think the biggest area that I've seen is the balance, right? I think Aiden naturally is aggressive and on the front foot. He's a hunter, he can hunt down the ball.
Yep.
But he also has the ability to go forward and score goals. But I think this year under Wilfried and the coaches and playing next to Darlington, the game awareness to understand when to go, when to hold, when to push, maybe when to have some patience is where we've seen the most progress. And so I'd probably define that one word, it's maturity.
Okay.
But he's still, deep down, the core is he's a warrior, and he says it, we say it, and you need players like him on the team. I mean, there's very few things that he doesn't have, and I'm excited to see where his game goes from here. He's one of the hardest working players, in the locker room. In the off season, I'm not even sure he'll have one because he will be, this is the last game of the year. He'll probably be in the training ground next week when everyone else is, taking a break. That's the type of character he is.
What does tomorrow look like for you? What do you do on an MLS Cup Final day a normal MLS Cup Final?
Yeah. Been fortunate to have a few, and it's nice when it's in the hometown because I don't have to host everyone in my house. So a lot of relatives who are coming in from Akron and from New York and Toronto, some friends, college friends, they're all coming into town, right? And so it's a lot of times it's about just finding time to see everyone and to pause and appreciate the moment, but then also stay focused and be available for Wilfried, for the players, the things that they need for the day, and to kind of clear the road and let them focus on the match, right? There's the haze in the barn, there's not a whole lot of things you're going to change. There's obviously some tactical tweaks the coaches will make, but it's really about showcasing this venue, our team, our city in the right way, and working with the league to do that, and then hopefully you can enjoy it on the side with your family and friends. Like I said, it's so important to do that when you're competing in these moments, because they've helped you.
Right.
All these people in our community and the players' families have sacrificed so much so that we can do what we love doing.